right now, as it's sitting, it makes way too much sense to me for Cam Ward to go number one, for Abdul Carter to go number two, and for Travis Hunter to go number three. The
Yeah.
Giants literally need a cornerback and a wide receiver too, and he plays both of those positions. Abdul Carter takes the double team possibly away from Myles Garrett, or at least takes the pressure
Is
off
the
him a little bit.
eventual successor, like as like the number one pass rusher for them.
It just seems like it makes way too much sense. I mean, am I missing something here?
No, I mean it makes sense to me too. And I think like if you're I just think those two guys are I think those two like Hunter and Carter are like take the quarterbacks out of it are so above the pack, the rest of the pack. Like I think after you get past those two, you have a bunch of guys who in some years would be going in the 20s, you know? And so it's like, do we reach for a quarterback or do we take one of the two guys that's clearly better than everybody else?
I had a great. I was texting with Mark Hale, who's a great editor at the assistant sports editor at the New York Post, and part of the big brainwave behind like the greatest headlines in the
Yeah.
world, right? Back page of the New York Post. And we were talking about Travis Hunter and the Giants because I'd written about it a couple of weeks ago. And he made the greatest comp, and so I'm going to steal it. And we were talking about the Giants drafting Shadur Sanders or the Giants drafting Travis Hunter. And he said, okay, so what would you rather, Marcus Stroman or Shohei Otani? And I was like, you're right. Like Travis Hunter could possibly be. And now you can always get scared away because whoever you want to say, it's Isaiah Simmons or it's all these positionless players that haven't panned out in the NFL. And if you have two positions, you have no positions. I understand all of that.
Yeah.
But the potential for the NFL to have its first kind of Otani player and to see what kind of impact he's had on his own team is like I had not heard that comparison before, and I actually really like it.
I mean, sometimes like you get, I'd say you get to like April 1st, which is what, a couple days from now, and you might be like sick of talking about one of the top prospects or whatever. I can't wait to talk about Travis Hunter for the next 3 or 4
I
weeks.
know.
Like he is the most interesting prospect because, and the Shohei Otani, I think that's apt. I mean, what he did at Colorado was ridiculous. He, like, just the act of doing what he did, the competitive focus that takes, the competitiveness, the endurance, the conditioning, the mental focus, like the ability to kind of like know what you're doing and toggle from one to the other, and to keep that going when you're 120 snaps in is mind blowing. And that should answer every question. I mean, not that there was ever a character question on him because there really isn't. Because I like every account you get is that he's pristine, but you don't even have to ask those questions because it's like to pull that off, you need to be a special type of guy.
Yep.
And yeah, I can't wait to keep talking about him. The cool thing about him to me is that on the high end you have Otani, right? But that's if it's a home run, maybe this is Otani, right? If not, maybe he is Steph Diggs or Devontae Smith at receiver and then plays a little defense. Or is Darius Slay on defense and plays a little off? I mean, it's just like it's endless.
Well, but here's what I don't.
You get so many cracks at getting it right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Exactly.
you get it really right, but you're going to get a lot of cracks at getting it right.
And here's what no one's talking about. What is one thing that, especially now, because the NFL is kind of split between the teams that are running some kind of a version of a Shanahan offense and a team that isn't. And as a coach, you have to agonize over what personnel you're taking to a field on Sunday, right? And it's like, okay, do I move the fullback up? Do I move the fullback down? I'm playing this team, so I probably need to bump the fullback up. I need to take the fullback down. Well, I need 5 defensive tackles against this team. No, now I need 4 defensive tackles for this team. What about special teams? Travis Hunter opens up a roster, like a complete and total roster spot for someone. Okay, I don't need that fifth cornerback. I don't need that fifth cornerback because my fourth wide, and you can build in. And for people who don't think this is significant, imagine being able to get another tight end on the roster, and then you can run an entirely different personnel package. Imagine getting a fullback on the roster full time if that's what you wanted. Imagine getting an extra cornerback on the roster, and then you can run in a completely different defense than you would have otherwise. Like, I really do think that this opens up a massive part of the roster that people aren't even talking about.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it gives you so much flexibility to do all of that. And like, even like, so like if I'm the Giants, right? If I'm the Giants and I'm looking at taking him third overall, I've got a need at corner. I'm starting him at corner, and then like I'm doing what Colorado did, which is like you're going to spend most of your time practicing, developing, meeting on defense, and then on offense, we're going to put in packages for you. We're going to signal routes in from the sideline if we need to. We'll make it work. Whereas like if you're the Patriots who are picking fourth, you have a need at receiver and not a corner, so you can start him at receiver and say, okay, like we'll sprinkle you in on defense, and then maybe the next year you're like, okay, like we're going to flip it back now. Like there's so many different ways you can attack it, and he can help you with so many. It's just, to me, I mean, it's just the possibilities are endless. And like, I mean, you're going to get like a month, like what, like a little over a month from now, he's going to go to rookie minicamp, and it's going to be like fascinating just to hear about what they're doing with him during rookie minicamp. I mean, when was the last time rookie minicamp was about anything but seeing like the guys in their new helmet and what jersey number they're wearing?
And just coaches praying that they didn't get hurt.
Right.
The best part about it is, well, I guess it's the best and the worst part. The worst trope of rookie camp and training camp is, oh man, X running back is taking snaps at wide receiver. Are you kidding me? And like that happened with like Najee Harris, with Travis Etienne, and like it ended up not mattering at all, right? Jahmyr Gibbs, right? But maybe Jahmyr Gibbs was the closest thing to like a truly positionless player, because he lined up in a bunch of different places. But legitimately going to Giants training camp, if they pick him number 3, I will go every day and I will tally whether Travis Hunter is on offense or defense, and I will do it with joy in my heart.